Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. In my videos, I use both Vedic and traditional Western techniques with tropical astrology, not sidereal astrology. I also use the traditional system of whole sign astrology for my analysis. You can use this video to the best of your advantage by listening to the introduction to understand what the week holds for you, and then going to the timestamps for your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a more personalized forecast for the week ahead. Astrology is not designed to scare you. It's designed to give you information so that you know what the good and the challenging energies in the week ahead will be, and you can therefore consciously work with them to the best of your advantage. Remember, knowledge is power. Now, there are scammers about, and so if you should receive a message from me on any platform requesting your money for a reading, know that it is a scam. Report them immediately. And now settle in and let's see what the astral skies have in store for the week ahead. Well, hello my friends, and welcome to this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm very excited to be with you for the final week of the year. In fact, the final couple of days of the year. We're looking this week at the energies that are playing out between the 30th of December to the 6th of January. And there's one main energy that we're going to focus on. I can't wait to tell you all about it. But I want to just welcome with you 2024. We're all hopeful every time we hit the new year that something better is in store for us in the year ahead, that we're going to experience greater things, that peace will come to the earth. We're all hopeful for this, and it's good to have hope. It is looking like rather a roller coaster year, but every year does in and of its, with all its different transits and in its own way. I was part of the Astrolager marathon, which was a fantastic thing to be part of. Check it out if you want to know more about what's in store for 2024 for you. And that's at the Astrolager YouTube channel. Do check that out. But I'm very excited to be beginning the new year with a change in direction by Jupiter, and that's our focal energy for this week. I feel like it's kicking the year off with a bang. The thing is though, my friends, this time at New Year, it's actually not that astrologically important. The real kicker comes at solstice. That's when the change of direction happens. That's when we need to be making our New Year's resolutions and putting our wishes before the universe. It's not so much now. So we've missed the boat. If you haven't, got on board with the solstice energy and celebrating solstice, then you have missed the boat. But don't worry, there'll be another solstice in June, and there'll be an equinox coming up also in March. So that's an exciting time to look forward to. And then you've also got cross-quarter days. And if you know about those, you know that you can celebrate and make intentions, set intentions, and work with the energies at each one of those. So let's welcome in 2024 with the secular calendar, knowing that the astrology isn't really doing all that much towards bringing in our wishes and hopes and dreams. But we do have this special Jupiter change of direction. Before I talk about that, I want to just remind you, don't forget to like and share and subscribe to my channel. So like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, to go into the draw to win yourself a solar return report. Deirdre really enjoyed her solar return report that she received last week. And all you've got to do is let me know that you have shared the video in the comments section, and I'm trusting you to be truthful about the fact that you've shared it. So please do so and share this good news of what's happening in the astral skies with everybody. Also, don't forget to check out my events page at the Guiding Star Astrology page. Now, I know some people get really pissed off when I talk about what I offer, and I'm like, well, this is how I share my information with people, and tough luck to you if you don't like it. So check out my events page for some wonderful upcoming events that you won't want to miss in 2024. Particularly, you might like to consider joining David and I on our incredible Stars Over Egypt tour in 2024, November, with our host, phenomenal mystic and sacred historian, Patricia Awyan Lehman. And so details are available at the events page. The link's in the description below to the events page. Book now, reserve your spot, and start, saving up all your spending money for a beautiful trip to Egypt. I think it's 3 weeks we're going for. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be the trip of a lifetime. So now I want to move into looking at this little energy here. We've got Jupiter retrograde currently, turning direct. So I'll turn that R into a D. Nice and messy for everybody. There's an R into a D. And this is happening on the 31st, the last day of 2023. Now, when Jupiter is retrograding, he makes us more attuned to our internal self, internalized faith, internalized hope and optimism. It comes from within us. We're not looking for, the Jupiter wealth and prosperity outside of us, because we really want to develop our own inner fortitude and inner optimism and glass half full kind of approach to life. And so when Jupiter changes to direct motion, we take these inner energies, this optimism, glass half full, this faith in the universe and the goodness of the universe. We take those things and they are transformed on the 31st of December into the material and external realm, because the energy when Jupiter is direct goes outside of us. Retrograde is internalized, direct is outside of us. So what's going to happen? Well, we're going to start to see the signs and the omens in our personal lives of the good things that are to come for us over the next 7-8 months that Jupiter is moving direct. So we might start to see, I'm a big one for seeing animals. When David and I got engaged, it was so unbelievable, but 10 minutes after we got engaged, we were in the forest and we saw a goanna, which is a rare animal to see. I've lived in the bush all my life. I think it was like the 3rd time I've seen a goanna in the wild, and there was a goanna crawling along on its path. And I looked up what goanna symbology means, or goanna omen means, online, and it meant some beautiful things, one of which was a protective energy. And I was just like, this is so lovely. I'm going to take this on board as a gift from the universe for David and I and our future together, this energy of protection. And that was just one of the beautiful components to goanna, which is a monitor lizard for those outside of Australia, goanna energy. Just gorgeous how the universe speaks to us in these beautiful ways. And so back to what we're talking about here, when Jupiter turns direct, you might start seeing some omens, some tangible sort of aha kind of energies, like something unusual. You don't see a monitor lizard or a goanna every day of the week. So it's a symbol when it shows up in your life. What about you? What symbols are showing up in your life? What animals are crossing your path? What signs from the universe are forming around us? When we have the eyes to see, these things are everywhere all the time. All the time. The universe is constantly speaking to us. Nature has our back. So from that belief basis that, we may have cultivated a belief in the goodness of the universe, the abundance of the universe while Jupiter's been retrograde, and then when he turns direct, we start to see evidence of the abundance of the universe, of the messages from spirit, of the grace of the divine all around us. It is a beautiful, powerful, lovely energy. So another thing that Jupiter is all about when he's retrograde is resurrecting something that is dead. So often when Jupiter is retrograding through a house, and I talked about this back in September when Jupiter turned retrograde, I talked about how when Jupiter turns retrograde, he's going to work on bringing something back to life in the realm of the chart that Taurus represents. And so now's the time to ask, now that Jupiter's turning direct, what has been brought back to life for us in the realm of the chart governed by the sign of Taurus in whole sign astrology? You might like to ask yourself that. Look at that house. We're going to talk about it in a minute. And just consider what could it be that has been resurrected, revived, brought back to life. Astrologer Lynn Coyner says that Jupiter, when he's direct, can see us playing a role to gain approval. So now that Jupiter's turned direct, this is actually something to perhaps be a little more aware of and consciously try to avoid. We don't want to fake it. We want to be authentic. Well, certainly I do. I'm very Uranian and must be real, must be honest, must be true. And that's just so important. I would just encourage you while Jupiter is direct to be aware of perhaps falling into the trap of pretending to be something so that people around you will like you, approve of you, and value you. You're better than that. You deserve more than to have to play a role. You deserve to be able to be free and authentic and real in your life. So we need to seek to live our truth consciously while Jupiter is direct, and we need to take these newly honed beliefs forged in the fire of Jupiter retrogression since September, and we need to start to integrate them in our external reality now. That's what Jupiter and his message of retrogression and direction, motion, is all about. So I've titled this video, Get Lucky. I hope everybody does get lucky for New Year this year, if that's what you want. One last thing I want to talk about before we break it down for all signs is the fact that Jupiter turns retrograde and direct in one sign, roughly speaking, once every 12 years. So this is your once in 12-year opportunity to address revival and resurrection back to life of Taurus-related things. It's going to be another 12 years before Jupiter is retrograding in the sign of Taurus. So this has been our chance. And, what have we done with that opportunity to give life back to something that Taurus represents in our chart? So very, very, very important time when Jupiter turns direct, because we're going to have to wait 12 years before we can deal with it again. We're now going to be living our truth in the area of life that is Taurus. We've redefined what success to us is regarding the house that Taurus is in whole sign astrology. And hopefully we've found some answers that give some meaning to our lives. It also can represent where we've healed something, and that's a restoration energy, where we've healed something and brought it back from being sickly. And even if it wasn't dead, we've brought it back from being sickly and unproductive into a state of abundance and prosperousness. Jupiter direct is also representing where we can get lucky in the next few weeks, where we can be very future oriented at this time, and where we will also have an opportunity to shine. So let's explore this now for all signs. We're going to start, not unsurprisingly, with Taurus. Taurus rising, Taurus sun, or Taurus moon. Well, it's the first house that the house of our main reason for incarnation. So this is a very personal transit of Jupiter heading direct, and it's you that might have been brought back to life. Now, I'm not necessarily speaking literally that you've been on death's door and somebody's got the electrical paddles and brought you back to life. Some of you may have had that experience, but that's not, generally speaking, what Jupiter is all about. It's that maybe you'd lost yourself during this time. Maybe you had forgotten who you really were or who you really are, and you weren't being authentic. You weren't being real. Maybe you weren't being real about a relationship you were in. Maybe you weren't being real and honest about a career path that you were on, and so you were, in a sense, in a metaphoric sense, sort of dead to who you were really meant to be. And Jupiter turning direct now is saying, have you restored yourself to life? Have you got authentic with who you're meant to be, the purpose for your life, the mission that you're on? That's what Jupiter's asking you. What has been brought back to life? In the case of a Taurus person, it's you. Has your authenticity been brought back to life? Have you been able to redefine success regarding who you are? And success, I think, for a first house oriented energy is about really ripping off the masks and the pretense and living your truth with who you are. Not pretending to, to like someone you don't like, not pretending to enjoy a workplace environment that's toxic and horrible. It's about getting real and getting true And I hope Jupiter's been able to bring you back to life in that regard, because they're important things. This is about Jupiter direct for the next, well, basically until end of April, May, when Jupiter will change signs out of Taurus. It's about aligning ourselves with our mission and our purpose. You know, when Jupiter was in the sign of Pisces a couple of years ago, for me, I was producing the Royal Stars Academy at that time and putting that all together. To me, that is a purpose and a mission that I've been called to fulfill. Jupiter is to be a teacher in the first house of me, and for me to teach, because I actually have Jupiter in Pisces in my first house natally, it's all about being a teacher, being a guide. And that's why my business is called Guiding Star. So for me, when Jupiter transited through my first house, went retrograde and direct in Pisces, I established my business that will be hopefully something of substance and substantial for the next 12 years until Jupiter ends up back in Pisces again. But I aligned with my mission. I aligned with my purpose there. Also, Jupiter in the first house can help us initiate new things, begin new things that give us an opportunity to shine, that can, be a source of healing for us, a source of blessing for us. Jupiter is very future oriented, so he can give a lot of events and circumstances that arise that we may not realize are a blessing in our life until we get down the track a bit. But they will. What you've established now during this Jupiter season of your life is going to be with you for the long haul, at least for the next 12 years, hopefully to bless you, not to undermine you. So this can also give an energy to your aura, your presence, my Taurus friends. Now, if you're living life and you're in this victim mentality, let's say, and it's like, woe is me, life sucks, it's not fair, everybody's done me wrong, it's their fault, their fault, their fault, their fault, and we never look within, we never see where we have let ourselves down or let other people down, then Jupiter here, he's not going to really get very far, because we have to do the work. Jupiter does not work. Jupiter brings an optimistic energy to who we are. But if we're stuck in the mire of victimhood, then Jupiter can't bring his blessing. He requires a collaboration with us to actually get out of our stuck in the mud attitudes and to start, looking. Usually Jupiter has to do with learning new things, researching new philosophies, trying to understand, different perspectives on things, put ourselves in another person's shoes. I think Elvis sang "Walk a Mile in My Shoes." Before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. What fabulous lyrics are they? And that's what Jupiter wants to do. It's like he wants to get you out of your head and yourself and give you some perspective by walking a mile in someone else's shoes, imagining what it must be like to be that person, to have had that experience, to have undergone certain things. So if you are able to do that, if you're able to put your poor me attitude aside, and we can all fall down sometimes with that kind of poor me attitude, and you are able to embrace like a mental construct of, what it must be like to be them, how must life feel for a person in that position. If we can do that, then Jupiter can absolutely flow in and give our aura and our energy such a boost, such a shot in the arm of glowing vibrancy, but we have to meet him in the middle first with that energy of open-heartedness, open-mindedness, and curiosity about the lives of other people. So it's my prayer, Taurus, that Jupiter moving direct now floods in to your energy field and gives you that beautiful, optimistic, hopeful, faithful, and abundant aura that when we're in that space attracts good things to us, good relationships, good prosperity, good opportunities for life. It's a case of, mentally, as within, so without. If you've got an upbeat attitude, if you're looking with love, if you're curious about people and their lives and not blaming, you bring in more blessing. Catch 22. Great energy. All right, thank you so much, my Taurus friends. Moving on now to Gemini. Yes, I think we'll go to Gemini. Jupiter's turning direct. Oh, I want to just mention Taurus too. Let me mention for you that the Royal Stars Academy is running for 2024. We're taking enrollments now, and it's $100 off either the introductory level or the intermediate level. There's never been a better time to come and study astrology with me. The link's in the description below. It's only until the 21st of January that this discount is being offered, and so I just invite you to come study and learn astrology with me. Get certified if you want to, but understand how the stars are having a role and blessing your life. Thank you. All right, looks like we need a bit of a placeholder here for our Gemini. So for Gemini people, Taurus is your 12th house, and it is in that realm that Jupiter has been retrograding for the last, since September, and is now turning direct. So it can be difficult to get a grasp on 12th house energies. It's where things feel out of control. But you know what? Jupiter does quite well in the 12th house. It's a protective energy, and the 12th house, which is connected with Pisces, ruled by Jupiter, there's an association with Jupiter here. It's a spiritual energy. So Jupiter might have been, like Jupiter, as I described in the intro, is all about restoring things to life that have died or were dying and been brought back to life. So it could be that over the last 5 months or so, you might have healed a memory, healed something that was niggling at you from your past. Maybe it could have been a past lifetime. If you've had a past life regression or something, you've healed the wounds that past life regression might have illuminated for you. Or it could be that something in your early childhood was a scar on your life. It wounded you. And Jupiter retrograding here can actually allow us to heal those wounds so that they're not niggling at us anymore. They're not festering in our life anymore. So it's our past we see from the 12th house that Jupiter has been restoring to life, healing those memories, healing those wounds from long ago when he is retrograding through the 12th house. So it's my prayer, my beautiful Gemini friends, that you have been able to heal some old attitudes or beliefs or memories that have wounded you. Now, Jupiter, when he is turning direct, is now hopefully been able to redefine what success is regarding the 12th house. So it's interesting to talk about success with the 12th house because it's a very hidden house. It's a very secret house. And we kind of in this world associate success with being external. Look at me. Here I am. I'm rich. I'm powerful. I've got lots of influence. And, it's all that kind of stuff. And Jupiter's not interested in that kind of stuff. He can bring popularity in certain circumstances. But in the 12th house, it's not really a big deal for him. So the success is not of that variety that we look for in Western society. Success in the 12th house is spiritual success. How strong and whole do you feel within yourself? That's what Jupiter has maybe been redefining as a manifestation of success over the last 5 months or so. He's now asking you to live your truth regarding your spiritual alignment, Maybe you've been caught in a religious environment or you've been part of a religious group or something like that, and it hasn't really aligned and it's not really your truth, but you go there because you have to, or you participate because it's expected of you. Well, Jupiter is saying this is not success in a spiritual sense. Success is being with people who align with your spiritual version of life, your worldview of life. And so really it's about not necessarily connecting with others, but it's about living your truth and being real in a spiritual sense. So I hope that this retrograde period of Jupiter has enabled you, my Gemini friends, to have found the answers that give meaning to your life. And going forward now, hopefully the healing has occurred here in this house of healing. It's a moksha house. You can now get lucky, because Jupiter, wherever he goes, brings luck. And so you might be, if you've healed your wounds, if you've done the work to restore or alchemize those past things in our life, as I talked about, then you can actually have more space in the energy that you carry as a vessel of energy. You actually have more space for the good to flood in. Jupiter is the planet of good karma. Saturn is the lord of karma generally. Jupiter brings good karma from our past lives. And so when we've healed our wounds that we've been clinging to, that we've been, bringing us down, that we've allowed to fester, when we've healed those things, which is what Jupiter does when he's retrograde, then when he turns direct, we've got more space for good things to come in, because we're not so focused on our festering, issues and our hang-ups and our psychological problems. So Jupiter, now that he's direct, can help you get lucky by, inviting in, maybe, for example, guidance from ancestors, guidance from the divine that's going to send you in the right path. 12th house is about going with the flow. And now that there's hopefully space in your life, you can go with the flow to be where you need to be, especially as Jupiter prepares to do some amazing and wonderful work in your first house in the middle of 2024, my friends. So you could get very lucky, but if that's only if you've really done the healing and done the work of Jupiter in the 12th house to heal the past so that your future can be blessed. And Jupiter is very future oriented. So here in the 12th house, he's saying you may have had an opportunity, or you might still have an opportunity while he's there, to shine in a spiritual sense or a creative sense. Maybe it's a great opportunity also to do some deep psychological work, introspective work, meditative work, contemplative work. These things are very powerful when Jupiter is in the 12th house by transit. So I encourage you, get involved in those sorts of things, pray, read spiritual self-help books, do all the work you can now before Jupiter leaves. And then when he moves into your sign, Gemini, it's going to be blossom time in your life. Thank you, Gemini. All right, Cancer. Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon. Jupiter has been retrograding since September in your 11th house, and this is where he has been trying to restore something back to life that may have been dead. So you might have noticed maybe some friendships were restored in the 11th house. A friendship that you thought was all over Red Rover now has the breath of life back in it. A network of, or a community group or something that you lost favor with, or you fell out with, or something, your presence there can have been restored with Jupiter retrograding through the 11th house. You might have thought, I've blown my chance for a promotion or some sort of rewards or gains, and Jupiter retrograding in the 11th house may have restored that back to life. Maybe you got offered another opportunity to make money, to be gainful, and it really helped. It really worked for you. So this is a house of gainfulness. It's also a house of dreams and aspirations. So where you may have lost a dream or lost a goal, maybe you gave up on a dream, or somebody else succeeded at it and you didn't, and you feel like you let yourself down in that way, it's time for a renewed vision. When Jupiter goes direct, it's time for more meaning and more purpose with your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations now. So that's something really exciting to look forward to. Jupiter turning direct now on the 31st of December gives us the chance to, review what has been restored to life in terms of our dreams and our goals, our friendships, our networks, our group involvements. So there's a lot of blessing here in one of the prosperity houses. The 11th house is a prosperity house when Jupiter turns direct after a retrograde period here. Now, he won't be back here, my Cancer friends, for another 12 years. So this has been our chance. This has been our chance to sort of work on our profitability and gainfulness, and where we may have had hang-ups, or poor attitudes that we needed to, change, or we needed to reach out and restore a friendship with somebody where the friendship was lost or something. So for Cancer friends, this has been an important period, an important time, and it's going to actually be a while before we get that opportunity again. We will have redefined what success is for us regarding the 11th house, which is a house of success. It's the rewards of success, the perks of life success. So here in the 11th house, we may see success as, an accolade or some sort of notoriety, some financial reward. And Jupiter here, while retrograding, might have, got us thinking deeply and meditatively about what do rewards really look like to us? Does it have to be that I win the Nobel Peace Prize? Is that adequate reward. I mean, look at some of the past winners and you'll realize it's probably a load of shit. But really, you know, what is success regarding accolades, notoriety, and achievement? What does that actually look like to you? Do you have to, you know, get the highest job going, you know, the CEO or whatever it is, to feel that you're successful? Do you have to win the Nobel Peace Prize to actually consider that you are a success in life? Jupiter has probably encouraged us to ponder such topics while he's been retrograde. And hopefully he's given you answers that give more meaning and purpose to life now that he's direct. So we've healed something in the 11th house, and now we can get lucky. Now that Jupiter's direct, we can actually start to see profitability. We can start to see more gainfulness and increase in our friendship circles, large friendship groups that we're able to join and be involved in. We might even see access to communal property more readily available to us, perhaps, or being able to tap into places where big groups gather, which is an 11th house thing as well. We can increase the wealth that we make from the contribution we're giving to the world. We can have more effective networking, and our dreams and desires and ambitions and wishes, how we can achieve what we want is sort of expanded now. We have more capacity to achieve our goals and dreams because we've been refining what they are while Jupiter has been retrograde. So exciting times. Now, Cancer, I just want to mention that the Royal Stars Academy is currently being offered for $100 off until January the 21st. The link's in the description below if you would like to study astrology with me in 2024. I'd love to have you there. Classes are beginning at any time. They start whenever you start, and it's something you can do at your own pace. But if you've ever thought about studying astrology, there's never been a better time because this discount is making it very affordable. So come and get certified as an astrologer or just study for your own delight. I can't wait to meet you in 2024 as one of my students. All right. Thank you, Cancer. Leo rising, Leo sun, and Leo moon people. Well, for we Leos, we are having the energy of Jupiter turning direct occurring in our 10th house. And this is where, since September when Jupiter went retrograde, we may have been healing something or restoring something to life that was dead and dying. And now we look at our careers, we look at our public profile, our reputation, and we can see what's been restored to life. I'll be straight up with you, my Leo friends, because I'm a fellow Leo sun. Well, Jupiter, during this time that he's been retrograde, has enabled me to get a job. Now, I've been running my astrology business as my main source of income for 5-6 years now. I've been doing it for a long time before that, but it really took off in its own solo capacity about 5 years ago. And I'm starting to get burnt out, I'll be honest with you, really burning out from the amount of time and effort and energy that is required to do what I do here. And I just want to be able to go to work and get an income without having to push for it all the time. I'm getting real here. And so what's Jupiter done? He has directed me most miraculously to a local council that was offering a role. I don't usually look on council websites for jobs. It's not something I spend my days doing, but I just happened to one day, saw a job there that was very me and applied, ended up getting the job. So I am so grateful to Jupiter. What he's done here is restore to life a career field in planning and strategic planning that had been dead as a dodo for about 10 years in my life. So I'm astounded, I'm happy and delighted, I'm excited, and it probably, just between you and I, Leos, it's probably going to mean a little bit less that I'm putting out here on the airwaves of YouTube. But we'll see how we go, and I'll try and juggle both for a while. So yes, here we are with Jupiter turning direct in the 10th house, talking about what has been restored to life, something that was dead and is now restored to life. I hope that's a good illustration. I'm certainly astounded by it even happening myself. So other things, we're now called to live our truth regarding our career. And this is the 10th house, pardon me, of of the legacy that we want to leave when we're gone. The 4th house is the legacy we receive, and the 10th house is the legacy that we give. And so we're now becoming more authentic with this. For me, the legacy I want to give is the knowledge of astrology. And I've actually finished all the tutorials that I prepared in advance for my Royal Stars Academy while Jupiter was retrograding between September and the 31st of December. And I finished that. And to me, it's like fantastic. I have, made available the legacy. I've concluded the intermediate level of the Royal Stars Academy that is part of the legacy that I want to leave, which is the knowledge of astrology for all people to come. So very, very excited to have done that. We can also be redefining what success is regarding this house. So we're now living our truth, we're creating our legacy and working on that, and we're also redefining what success is regarding this house of career, visibility, legacy. What is a successful legacy in your mind? This is a question you can sit with and meditate on. What is a successful legacy? What does a successful career look like, my friends? You might like to sit and ponder on this now Jupiter is turning direct. It's time to really get jiggy with it when Jupiter's energy moves forward. And in fact, Jupiter is very future oriented. He's going to help you through this redefinition of what a successful career or reputation or legacy is. He's going to help you move forward into a future. So you might have, for example, in my case, I've set up my astrology teaching course, as I said, and it's my hope that in the next 12 years, as Jupiter moves around this 12-year cycle that he does, that teaching course, my legacy that I want to leave, is going to be to give me the opportunity to shine in sharing astrological knowledge and to teach and empower many people. So Jupiter is very much about the future and what we're building for the future and what we're establishing for the future. And we refine what that is when Jupiter's retrograde, and we see it move forward and take action with it, give it momentum when Jupiter turns direct. We can also get very lucky now Jupiter has turned direct with our careers, with our legacy, with our reputation, with our ability to share who we are with the world. That's 10th house energy. So you can get very lucky now and might get offered a promotion, or you might get offered a new role, or get an aha moment about how you can leave a legacy and in what field you might like to leave a legacy. You might get clarity around those things now that Jupiter's turning direct in the 10th house. And just on my Royal Stars Academy, my friends, if you want to study astrology with me and learn all this amazing ancient knowledge, well, the Royal Stars Academy is taking enrollments right now for 2024. It's currently $100 off. You can get $100 off the introductory level and the intermediate level if you want to. And the link's in the description below. So if you want to study astrology, you can get certified or not if you'd rather just do it for your own interest. Do come study with me while this discount is on until the 21st of January. I look forward to meeting you when we have our workshops to talk about astrology in 2024. Thank you, my beautiful Leo friends. Now, Virgo rising, Virgo sun and Virgo moon people, the energy of Jupiter turning direct is influencing your 9th house. And this is an influence that only occurs once every 12 years. It's going to be 12 years before Jupiter is back and does his retrograde motion in the 9th house. And so this has given you a chance to restore something back to life that maybe was dead, maybe was dying. So I ask you now, what's been brought back to life that has a 9th house theme to it in your life? Maybe you had an international contract. Maybe you were doing some trade internationally. Maybe you had an international business. Maybe you had a friendship with somebody in a faraway place. Maybe you had a potential for a teaching position in some kind of university or a place of higher learning. All of these are 9th house energies. Maybe you had a second life partner. That's a 9th house energy too. A second committed life partner, and something went wrong and it all fell to pieces. But lo and behold, While Jupiter retrograded, you had the chance to bring that back to life, to bring that relationship back to life, to restore it. Maybe you had the chance to renew a teaching opportunity that had slipped through your fingers. Maybe you had the chance to reestablish that international business that you had running, or to rectify a problem that had, caused you to stop trading internationally or something. So all of these things and many more ninth house energies may have found their restoration during Jupiter's retrograde process that's been on since September, basically. And now we're at the end of December. On the 31st of December, Jupiter's going to move direct, and the energy is going to be externalized. But this has been this refining process that has encouraged us or enabled us to restore something back to life that we thought was all over Red Rover. And hopefully it's enabled us to find answers for life that give it more meaning, especially in the ninth house. The ninth house is about having purpose and mission. And when Jupiter is retrograding, we're actually seeking and looking for the truth. We're looking for the answers that give meaning and purpose. And when Jupiter goes direct, let's hope everybody watching this, all my Virgo friends, has found some meaning and purpose to life that's going to give it some sparkle going forward. Jupiter is a very future-oriented planet, very associated also with the ninth house as well. And so, he's about bringing some meaning to life for the next 12 years, because it's going to be 12 years before he's back here. So he hopefully, for all of our Virgo friends, has established some kind of meaning and purpose for life that will last you 12 years as you go through his next cycle. It's also a realm of the chart where you can now get lucky. Now, this is a gift for Virgo people because this is the house of blessing. So you might get lucky with international travel, with, an opportunity to enter into some sort of form of higher learning or pre-qualification. It's an opportunity that might present itself with a relationship of a second committed variety. You might get lucky with just the universe having your back, and everything seems to just be going right for you from now until sort of May, when Jupiter will then change to signs and move into Gemini. So it's a lucky period that you're entering into now, where the divine, the universe, the gods have your back. They're going to give you knowledge and the light of understanding. They're going to be able to help you move forward into more freedom and truth. So you're living an authentic life. That's something Jupiter really wants to see you achieve when he's moving through this realm of the chart. You probably will also be able to understand life too, which is a real gift. It's a house of wisdom. And to understand life is such a gift, because then we make better choices. We see opportunities when they present themselves. So we see the big picture, we see the big patterns in life. We can make choices that are more beneficial for us when we're coming from a place of understanding and wisdom. And Jupiter direct, I hope, is giving you that empowerment with his transit here now. Good karma is here. This is the fifth house from the fifth. And Jupiter is the planet of good karma, and the fifth house from the fifth gives very good karma. It's sort of that higher, perfected karma. So blessing, my Virgo friends, is available to you. Of course, it all depends on the attitude that you're living with. If you're living with, it's a poor me, everybody else has done me wrong, and I blame them, and it's their fault. If that's the kind of glass half empty, I'm a victim approach that you are living your life with, my friends, Jupiter's energy of blessing and upliftment can't enter in no matter what he does. You don't recognize his beauty and his energy when it's on your doorstep. But if you're living from, and I mention this because Virgo is associated with this sixth house energy of victimhood, if you're living from that higher plane of Virgo energy, which is, how can I help people? How can I heal? How can I fix the problems in the world? That's a Virgo gift to the world. If you're living from that plane rather than, everybody did me wrong, then Jupiter has so much opportunity to bring blessing into your life, good karma, opportunities, the right people at the right time. You're in the right place. You see how the world works and you make the right choices. All that beautiful Jupiter optimism, glass half full energy, and blessing and abundance starts to flow in because you're allowing it. You're not walling it off. You're not blocking it off. So I hope, my Virgo friends, that that's the case for you, because what a lovely gift to have Jupiter going direct now in the 9th house, trining and blessing you. Such a special place to have Jupiter turning direct. Enjoy it, lap it up, and enjoy the meaning and purpose that you can now be living with as Jupiter moves through your 9th house. I also just want to mention, because it is quite pertinent for Virgo people, if you've wanted to enroll in the Royal Stars Academy for 2024, there's never been a better time, because currently I'm offering $100 off the introductory level and $100 off the intermediate level. You can enroll in one or the other, or you can enroll in both. If you've ever wanted to study astrology with me, this is your chance, and that offer is available till the 21st of January. I can't wait to meet you in 2024 when we have our workshops together and we learn astrology together, my friends. Thank you, Virgo. Okay, Libra rising, Libra sun, and Libra moon people. Jupiter is turning direct on the 31st of December, last day of the year, here in your 8th house. So this is very significant, my Librans. This is really about, well, basically, this is a house of restoration. It's a house of renovation. It's a house of, when we're burnt down to the ground, re-emerging like the phoenix from the ashes. That's what this house is all about. And when Jupiter is retrograding, that's the energy he gives us as well. He's about restoring things back to life that may have died or were dying. So it's time to ask ourselves, Libra, what in association with the 8th house has been brought back to life. Maybe your sex life was as dead as a dodo. That's an 8th house thing. And here, since September, Jupiter going retrograde might have given you the opportunity to get back in touch with your own sexuality. Whether there's a partner or not involved, that's almost irrelevant, but your own sexual being and sexual power. I mean, it's just so important. I think in the West, we don't understand the power that's available to us through sexuality. And it may be that Jupiter's revealed that to you, Libra, while he's retrograding. And maybe you've come back into a state of sexual power and owning your sexuality now, living your truth with regard to your sexual self. A very important component of who we are, a very important component of life in the human body. And whenever I talk about sex in my videos, I often get some shitty do-gooders whining about, oh, you shouldn't talk about sex on a YouTube channel and stuff. I'm sorry. It's a part of our life as human beings. How do you think you got here? So, grow up is all I'll say. But it's about Jupiter turning direct has allowed maybe your sex life to be restored, your sexual self to be restored, or living your truth in that regard to be restored to life again. And that's beautiful if that's what's happened. Maybe you lost touch with the psychic side of yourself or the mystical side of yourself, and Jupiter might have restored that back to life. You might have sort of come back to your deep knowledge of energy, your deep knowledge of healing. This is a healing house. It's a moksha house. And so that might have been restored back to life. Your ability to heal, your ability to be healed, your ability to cope with change is an 8th house thing. It's a house of fast, rapid change. And some of us don't cope with that very well. Librans probably do, because you are a cardinal sign, and that's about change. But if you've got any fixed sign placements, you might struggle to allow change into your life. And Jupiter retrograding here might have given you an opportunity to learn to love change and to welcome change in your life. That can be another manifestation here. Jupiter might have helped you be reborn in some way, like a metaphoric rebirth of who you are. You'd lost who you were. You'd lost your identity, perhaps. And over the months since September, while Jupiter is retrograding, maybe you have found yourself again. You've found your identity. You know who you are, and you feel liberated in that, and you're living it. Very powerful. Very powerful. I've had 8th house transits that absolutely brought me into my own truth, my own liberty, and my own true identity that I had been suppressing and didn't even know I was suppressing. This is the realm of the chart that has to do with what we receive from others. Now, you might have been standing to inherit something from Great Aunt Bertha, and lo and behold, she passed away, and you didn't receive anything. And you're like, hang on, what? Oh, she told me I was going to get, this X, Y, Z, whatever it is, some will, some resources, because the 8th house is what we receive from others. So I'm using wills as an example. And you thought, oh, well, that was that opportunity gone. Lo and behold, Jupiter retrograding here might see you getting a letter from the solicitor out of the blue saying, oh, we're so sorry, we overlooked you. We forgot to mention that Aunt Bertha had left you, blah, 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 blah. So I'm using that as an illustration of some inheritance, some, it could be a tax return, it could be a payout that you thought, oh, well, that's all over, Red Rover. Looks like I'm not getting that windfall or that payout or that opportunity. Lo and behold, Jupiter retrograding can have turned that right around and bought that opportunity for a windfall or material goods, or it could even be moral support. That's something we receive from other people, or financial support or something from others now is brought back to life where you thought it had disappeared. So I hope that's the case for you, my Libran friends, that blessing is now flowing while Jupiter turns direct here. Jupiter is a very lucky planet, and as a Libran moon, I've been looking forward to Jupiter turning direct in a house of windfalls, in a house where it's one of the houses, a combination of 8th house with, say, the 5th house, can be very, very, very lucky, and it can bring you windfalls that, you buy a lotto ticket kind of stuff. But while Jupiter's retrograding here, that luck's a bit diminished because Jupiter's internalizing things and teaching you things. Now that Jupiter's turned direct in the 8th house, it could be that lotto ticket comes good for you, my friends. Or just you get more lucky with resources, perhaps. Somebody offers you some support, somebody gives you a donation, somebody starts a GoFundMe page for you. You just get luckier with support and financial, moral, physical support from other people here. I love the 8th house. A lot of people say, oh, 8th house is really negative, and it is a moksha house. It's one of those healing houses, learning houses, challenging karmic houses even. But there's so much good here, so much blessing here. We have to, of course, seek to live life where we can provide for ourselves and stand on our own 2 feet and not be mooching off other people our whole life. But every now and again, I tell you what, it is so nice to get some backing, to get somebody who believes in you, somebody who's got your back. I mean, that's just the wind in your sails. That's 8th house. It's that energy. And so Jupiter might have restored to life some wind in your sails kind of circumstances that are going to take you forward into the future. Jupiter won't be back in this realm of the chart for another 12 years, as is his cycle. So this chance to restore 8th house things back to life, you're coming to the end of the road with it. It's going to be another 12 years before that opportunity is there again. So carry that wind in your sails forward. Other people and their support and their kindness and their benevolence to you, carry it forward because it will take you a long way into this 12-year cycle. Jupiter looking to the future. So it's my hope, Librans, that you have healed something important here, some energy, some attitudes, some deep psychological part of yourself. This is at one of the houses of psychology, and I hope that this Jupiter turning direct now shines a light on where that healing has taken place, and you can celebrate it at New Year. Well, my Librans, I just want to mention before I go that if you have always wanted to study with me at the Royal Stars Academy, then there's never been a better time to start than now for 2024. Currently, there's $100 off the introductory level and the intermediate level. The link's in the description below, but I would love to meet you next year when we start our one-on-one workshops. But you can start your studies at any time. Sign up, get your $100 off, and start studying astrology. Just so you know, the classes with me will start in March. I'm looking forward to doing that with you. But in the meantime, get cracking, learn astrology, get certified if you want to or not. But either way, come and learn astrology with me in 2024. Thank you, Libra. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, and Scorpio moon people. Well, the energy of Jupiter turning direct is happening in the 7th house. So this is where your partner might be being restored to life. Maybe, let's say you were married to somebody and they lost their job and they were depressed and down and discouraged, naturally speaking, when you've lost your job and you're like, what do I do now? Which direction do I take? It's possible that there was sort of not a death, but feeling, of a partner. Partners just lost their enthusiasm, lost their joy, lost their vibrance. Jupiter, over his retrograde period, might have restored your partner back to life, given them a job opportunity, given them a purpose and meaning for living. This has been since September that Jupiter's been retrograde. So might have restored their direction, their purpose, their sense of value, their sense of self-worth. Jupiter turning direct in the house of partner or spouse, business partners too, might have restored your partner back to life. It is also possible that Jupiter here might have restored a contract that you thought was not going anywhere, that didn't amount to much, that you might as well tear up. Well, Jupiter over his retrograde period might have restored that contract back to life in a way that feels meaningful and valuable to you. Jupiter turning direct here can absolutely do that. Jupiter retrograde, and that retrograde period is coming to a close on the 31st of December when Jupiter will turn direct. This is a time to ask ourselves, well, what is it that's been brought back to life? What's been restored? It's also a realm of the chart where we're focused on, when Jupiter retrogrades, we are redefining what success is to us. And this is the relationship commitment house. What does a committed relationship look like to you? And has it changed since Jupiter went retrograde in September? Have you redefined what a successful marriage is, or a successful business partnership? What does that now look like to you? Maybe prior to Jupiter going direct, for example, you had a very clingy, needy kind of relationship, and then Jupiter went retrograde, and you realized that's not a healthy relation. That's not a successful relationship. We need space. We need to be in our truth and authentic in our relationship, not sort of, sucking the life out of each other. And so Jupiter going retrograde here may have helped you redefine what success is. That's actually going to give you a more meaningful, dynamic, powerful relationship now that he's turning direct. I hope that's the case, because Scorpio, it's going to be another 12 years before Jupiter's back here to do the work and redefine what a successful relationship is for you. Some of you might be single, and Jupiter turning direct can now take you in, like you've redefined and reworked yourself. I mean, Jupiter is sending a Vedic aspect to the house of you. Maybe you've redefined who you are or healed some old wounds relationally, and now with Jupiter turning direct, you're ready for the good things, the lucky encounters to come your way that might lead to a committed partnership, my single friends. So it's like you've been restored back to life, healed from old wounds and what have you, and now it's time to get lucky with relationship with Jupiter turning direct here. Jupiter's also very future oriented, so some relationships, some contracts, some business partnerships that have gotten established during this time that he's been in Taurus are gearing up to go with you now forward for the next 12 years as he travels around the horoscope. So that can be a real gift and a blessing to many people. Some of you also might have ended a relationship with Jupiter turning retrograde, because one of the things Jupiter does in the 7th house, particularly when he's retrograde, is make us very determined to live our truth. And if our relationship wasn't a true relationship, if we didn't feel in love, if we were sick of our partner, if it had worn out and got old and it reached the end of the line, then we would have, with Jupiter retrograde, redefined what a successful relationship is and probably ended a shitty relationship. So some of you might find that you're single now. You've gone through a divorce or something like that. And now that Jupiter's turning direct, you are redefining the self. You're giving yourself an opportunity to shine going forward for the next 12 years. And you can even start to get lucky. I'm not saying that you're going to run out and just find somebody new. Some of you might. But really, luck here now is about developing good relationships of all kinds with other people. This is the house of other people. So you're going to start to have healthier relationships, and that's the key. Jupiter turning direct can now bring healthy relationship dynamics. That includes friendships into your life that are going to feel better going to feel more in alignment with who you are, going to feel like success and more like living your truth. So Scorpio, I hope it's all good news for you now that Jupiter's turning direct. And I just want to mention that if you've always wanted to study astrology, there's never been a better time to join the Royal Stars Academy in 2024, because there's $100 off up until January 21st. There's $100 off both levels, the introductory and the intermediate level. The link's in the description below if you want to find out more about the Royal Stars Academy. I can't wait to meet you when we do our workshops throughout 2024. So come and join me and study astrology with me next year. Get certified if you want to get a certification in astrology, or simply study for your own joy. Either way, I can't wait to meet you when you study through the Royal Stars Academy. All right, Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius sun, and Sagittarius moon people, or Sagittarius moon people. The energy of Jupiter, your ruling sign, Sagittarius, turning direct, will be felt in your 6th house. And this is when Jupiter turns direct, especially as he's your 1st house lord, so you're going to feel it very powerfully. You and our Pisces friends are really going to notice this shift of energy because you're governed by Jupiter. But you're really going to notice life moving forward now. And it's going to probably illuminate for you something that's been restored to life, or maybe had died, regarding 6th house things, because Jupiter, when he's retrograde since September till the 31st of December, has been working on restoring something back to life. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your fitness, maybe you let yourself go a bit. When Jupiter was in the 6th house, Jupiter rules fat. We can get fat when Jupiter's in the 6th house. So Jupiter, when he was direct here earlier in 2023, you might have let yourself go a bit, put on a few pounds, gotten a bit uncomfortable in your clothes, You could have done that. And then Jupiter went retrograde and you're like, you know what? I have to restore my good health, my physique, my healthy meal plans. I have to restore that back to life. So you might have been working on that since Jupiter went retrograde. You might have been healing some physical ailments since Jupiter went retrograde, and you can look back now and probably say, you know what, I've dealt with those ingrown toenails, or I've restored back to life that what's the name of when you have like a mole on your foot, wart on your foot or something like that, and now I can walk again, I'm just using little examples, obviously. I hope there's many people who can speak to a miracle. Jupiter does have an association with miracles. Speak to a miracle in terms of their health since Jupiter went retrograde. And if you have experienced a miracle since September with a health issue, then do let us know in the comments section. We would love to celebrate with you. But for many of you, there's some healing of physical ailments, disease, maybe hay fever, allergies, all those sorts of things, the little things and the big things, health-wise, are seen through the 6th house, and you might have restored yourself back to life from a difficulty like that. Maybe you've also gotten out of debt. Jupiter retrograde here can restore back to life. Maybe you were in the red when this retrograde transit began, and now you're in the black. Go you, good thing, if that's the case. I hope that is the case for many people. It's about restoring things back to life that were problems, issues, inconveniences, things that were out of balance in your life have been restored back to a state of balance, I hope, with Jupiter going direct here now. It's also about living your truth in regard to 6th house things, being real about what you need, like not denying that you need to, get more physically active, not pretending that, I'll just have this extra dollop of cream or this extra, cocktail or piece of chocolate or something, and it won't really matter. No, now with Jupiter moving direct, you're like, I'm now going to be truthful about what my body needs. It doesn't need that extra dollop of cream. It doesn't need more chocolate. I'm going to be truthful. I'm going to be authentic about, what I need to do to get real with my physical health and my diet. In fact, you've probably, while Jupiter's been retrograding, have redefined what success is regarding health and well-being, your physical prowess and your ability to live a flourishing physical life. So, maybe you thought, prior to Jupiter going retrograde, maybe you thought sixth house, health and well-being, success, meant running a marathon every week. And, maybe, doing a triathlon every other week, and you're just like this ultra fit, over the top, fitness guru. And then Jupiter retrograding might have, in the sixth house, might have said, you know what, I need to actually give my body a rest sometimes. And it's not successful if my body is constantly got a state of burning muscle. That's not success. That's not health. There's sometimes when I just need to allow my body to rest and recover and take time out. And this may not be how it manifested for you. I'm just trying to give as many different illustrations as I can. So maybe you've redefined what success regarding health and well-being actually is, and you've let go of being the obsessive health guru that drives everyone around them crazy with, finicky about what they eat and always running and whatever. And now you're more balanced, you're more harmonious regarding your health and well-being routine. So you might have redefined what success is regarding health and well-being. And I hope that you found some answers that give more meaning to life, more meaning to your daily life. The sixth house is our daily routine. It's our hard work. It's about getting up in the morning and going and working diligently, whatever it happens to be. This house is connected to people who do manual labor, farmers, people who are cooking and serving and doing service-oriented jobs. But for everyone's got a sixth house, no matter what sort of job they've got. It's about the work that we do, and it's about finding meaning in the work that we do every single day and the routine that we live every single day. And I hope that's the case for you, Sagittarians, since Jupiter has been retrograding, and now that he's turning direct, that you can go forward living with more meaning, living with more purpose. It's also a realm of the chart where you can actually get lucky. Now Jupiter is direct. You can get lucky with your health. You can get lucky with a job opportunity. You can get lucky with your working conditions. You can get lucky with hiring people to do manual labor for you, or to do service jobs for you. You can get lucky with who you find, because Jupiter moving direct is in the house of the people we employ. Can bring that to you as well. So there's luck associated here. Maybe it's time to look for that new mechanic. Maybe it's time to look for that new builder to do a renovation. People who do jobs and roles that fix things and serve us in some way. Look for a new barista if you haven't been happy with your recent one. You can get lucky with who you find now. So I just want to mention, Sagittarius, that if you've always wanted to study astrology, there's never been a better time than now, because we're starting a new year. It's time to enroll in the Royal Stars Academy for $100 off. That could be the introductory level or the intermediate level. There's $100 off. The link's in the description below. Come and study astrology with me in 2024. I'd love to meet you in our workshops, but you can start your study at any time. And I look forward to interacting with you and getting to know you a little better throughout 2024 in our Royal Stars Academy workshops. Thank you, Sagittarius. Okay, Capricorn rising, sun and moon. Well, for Capricorn people, Jupiter is turning direct in the luckiest house of the horoscope. And of course, Jupiter is one of the luckiest planets. So this is quite a nice one. This is where something in your life, Capricorn, might have been dead or was dying. And when Jupiter went retrograde in September, up until now, until the 31st of December when Jupiter is going direct, you have been given the chance to bring something, fifth house, back to life. It could be a relationship with a child, a relationship with maybe an estranged child, or maybe you've got a little one living in your house and they've just been really distant, or you've been so busy that the relationship's really suffered. And now with Jupiter having gone retrograde, you can look back and say, you know what, we've restored our relationship. My relationship with my children is much healthier, more dynamic, more loving, more warm than it was prior to Jupiter going retrograde. Or it could be a romantic situation, a relationship with a boyfriend or a girlfriend that might have been restored back to life. This is our chance when Jupiter goes retrograde in one of the houses of relationship for us to see old loves come back from the past and rekindle that flame again. So some of you, that might be some good news that you were, happy to hear. So Jupiter retrograde can do that for us as well. There's certainly healing associated with this. It might be that your creative output has been restored back to life. We've all experienced times when we've got writer's block or artist block, and it's just the creativity that we enjoyed is just not there. And Jupiter going retrograde here in the 5th house gave you the chance to restore your creativity back to life. You might have got back involved with a hobby that you haven't touched in years, or got some joy or exhilaration from being involved in maybe some sort of performance, and you haven't performed on stage since you were at high school or something, and here's the opportunity. Jupiter retrograding brings something back to life that was pretty much all over. So creatively, romantically, or to do with children. Some of you might have got back in touch with your inner child as well, and restored the joy that you had as a young person, young man, young woman, back to life also. This is the house of joy. And if you have lost your joy, Jupiter retrograding here might have given you back your optimistic outlook, your effervescence, your vitality, your happiness might have come back in some way over the last few months since September, when Jupiter was retrograding. So now that we have come into our joy and we're living with more authentic exhilaration and truth in this realm of our life, we're living creatively since Jupiter has gone retrograde here, and maybe we've redefined what creative success actually is. Since Jupiter went retrograde, maybe we've redefined what a good relationship with children or a boyfriend or a girlfriend actually looks like since Jupiter went retrograde here, and hopefully those answers have given us meaning for life. Now that Jupiter's turning direct, we can start to experience externally some kind of luck in one of the luckiest houses of the horoscope. Some of you might get a lucky windfall, win the meat tray at the local club or something like that one night at the raffle. Some of you might, this is the realm of gambling. Jupiter's the planet of gambling. Some of you might get lucky with gambling if that's something that floats your boat. I never say go and bet your life savings on black or anything like that. Act with caution and sensibleness, as Capricorn people are wont to do. You'll be fine. But don't be afraid to have a little flutter. Jupiter going direct can actually bring some blessing in that regard. Also, the creativity that you will have revived, or the relationship with your children that you will have revived, or the romantic situation that you will have revived during Jupiter's retrograde season is now setting up some structures to last you with a form of blessing. I'm not saying that your boyfriend's going to last you for another 12 years or anything, but the blessing that restoration has brought the energy of that blessing can carry on with you for another 12 years until Jupiter comes back to this point in the chart. So Jupiter's very future oriented. So there's some blessing going with you now, Capricorn friends, that will be something you can draw from over the next 12 years, because Jupiter's only in a single sign once every 12 years. So you've had this opportunity to restore these 5th house things back to life, and now the blessing of that restoration can go with you. So Capricorn, if you have always wanted to study astrology, then this is the most wonderful opportunity you'll have. I'm offering $100 off my introductory level and my intermediate level. You can do both or either or. And if you want to enroll for 2024, you've got until January the 21st to get that discount. So the link's in the description below. Come and study astrology with me. Come meet me in our workshops that we conduct throughout the year for the Royal Stars Academy. And let's learn astrology together, my friends. Thank you. Okay, Aquarius rising, Aquarius sun, and Aquarius moon people. Well, because you're a fixed sign, Aquarius, and so is Taurus, this means that it's an angular house getting activated by the direct motion of Jupiter. So this is a very pivotal house in the horoscope. It's the 4th house of our life foundation and our core emotional strength. Jupiter going retrograde here in September until the 31st of December this week has been really restoring something back to life. Maybe it's your emotional strength. Maybe it's an emotional energy of security and stability and safety and belonging. Prior to September, you might have felt like, life is just a whirlwind. It's crazy. moved from pillar to post. I don't know which job I've got from one day to the next, or which home I'm in, and wow, it's wild. In comes Jupiter retrograde, and he says, let's make life more stable for you. Let's give you the home that feels safe and secure. Let's give you the home that you've always wanted to belong in, or the community of people that really understand you and they've got your back. Let's give you your restore back to life that emotional equilibrium that may have been missing for maybe a while now. Jupiter retrograding wants to give these things back to you and breathe new life into those fourth house things: your domestic life, land, property, emotional stability, the legacy that you receive from your family line as well. So there is real restoration that might have occurred with fourth house things for our beautiful Aquarian friends. And it can also indicate that you've healed something, healed your emotions, healed an emotional wound, healed an emotional scar since September. And what a gift that can be. Jupiter can bring healing when he's retrograde. You've probably also redefined what a successful home life looks like, Aquarius. You know, maybe prior to Jupiter going retrograde, you moved from one home to another, from one home to another. And for you, living out of a suitcase meant a free and wild and successful life. But maybe since Jupiter's been retrograding through the fourth house, you've been like, you know what, I think I want to feel settled. I think I want to feel a sense of belonging, especially with Taurus down here, you probably do. You probably want to put down some roots. And you know, that's going to feel more successful to me than living out of a suitcase between houses. So there's been a redefinition with Jupiter retrograding. That's just one illustration. There's many ways that might have expressed. But Jupiter retrograding has given you the chance to redefine what success is to you regarding homes, where you live, and the way you live in your domestic environment as well. So a redefinition of what is a successful home life. You're also now living in more authenticity with Jupiter now moving direct. More authenticity regarding your emotional self. There's no denying your emotions now. You want to get real with your emotions, not sort of put on that happy face and wear that mask and pretend that everything's hunky-dory, as we used to say when I was a kid. No, it's about, you know, I'm having a struggle today and I'm going to be real about that. I'm finding that my emotions are really easily triggered today and I'm going to be honest about that. Jupiter here wants to give emotional truth, emotional authenticity to your life. So now that Jupiter's direct, Aquarius, you might find that you get lucky externally with the home. You've redefined things, you've healed things and restored things back to life, and now you might find that, you know, a new home is on the horizon for you. Maybe a new garden bed, an opportunity to, you know, connect with some sort of farming practices or fishing practices or hospitality practices that are a wonderful opportunity. You can get lucky with those things. You could get lucky in your role as a parent if you are one as well. So you might find that your parenting goes smoother now that Jupiter has turned direct. And even this is the realm of the chart that has to do with family businesses, inherited family businesses. So you can get lucky with an inherited family business as well. Very exciting. And this blessing that this has brought might last you going forward for the next 12 years. You know, maybe you inherited a family business and it's going to be there for you to build and nurture and grow for the next 12 years until Jupiter's back in this realm of the chart again in 12 years time. So Jupiter is future oriented, and what he establishes and redefines and brings back to life is usually likely to last with us for the long term, because Jupiter's looking ahead. Jupiter's always out there looking to the future. He's a future-oriented energy. So the home life that you've established since Jupiter's been in Taurus, particularly when he's been retrograde, is going to be that foundation and core strength that's going to help you shine going forward in the future as Jupiter moves through the other houses. So what a great thing to have happened, Aquarius. There's this stabilizing energy, this strong energy of Jupiter in the fourth house that brings healing. Before I conclude, Aquarius, if you've wanted to study astrology and you've been looking at astrology courses online, well, there's never been a better time to look into the Royal Stars Academy and study with me in 2024. Currently, I'm offering $100 off my introductory level and $100 off the intermediate level, which is a mind-bogglingly huge astrology course. If you're passionate about astrology, you're going to get everything you've ever wanted in that course. So the link's in the description below. Come and study astrology with me in 2024. We have lots of live workshops where you get to meet me. We can talk and discuss astrology ideas and any questions you might have. So come study literally with me throughout 2024. I can't wait to meet you all. Thank you, Aquarius. Now, almost at the end of our sojourn here, we're at Pisces. Pisces rising, sun and moon. This change of motion of Jupiter is going to affect you very strongly, Pisces, because Pisces, Jupiter rules you. You are governed by this wonderful, expansive planet, most blessedly. So Jupiter, since he went retrograde in September, has been bringing something back to life that might have been dead or was dying. And now as he's about to turn direct this week on the 31st, last day of the year, you could look back and say, you know what? I can see where something has been revitalized and restored. I'm going to give you, this has just occurred to me as I'm doing this reading, and it's really astounding to me. It feels like an energetic miracle from Jupiter. I had a falling out some years ago with a woman that I worked with. We'd been friends before we started working together, and she got me the job. And we hadn't we had worked together, but our employer was a horrific woman and did some things that ended up pulling us, my friend and I, apart. And we haven't spoken for years. I got to think how many years. It might be 5 years, might be a little less than 2017. So yeah, 5 years. And this is a house that has to do with our teammates, our work colleagues. It also has to do with our friendships. And so it was so funny today, this very day that I'm recording this video, today, I went to a cafe and she happened to be working at this cafe, and we got to chatting, and it was like old times, and it was like there was no water under under the bridge. It was just like pick up where we left off. It was beautiful and it was empowering, and that's exactly what Jupiter retrograde does and restores back to life. Friendships, connections. This is a social house. In fact, this is the realm of the chart that's about friendships that feel like siblings to us. And certainly this person and I had been very close for years. We both loved sewing. We both loved cooking. We both loved gardening. We just loved all the same beautiful domestic things. And we'd often take trips together, to go to sewing shops and things like that. It was one of those beautiful sibling-like friendships. And I've only just thought of that as I'm doing this reading, that's something that's very third house that has been restored back to life for me. Friendships that feel like siblings. So, wow, what a little miracle just today. Also, we can also see our relatives, relationships with relatives, neighbors, workshop groups that can be restored back to life in some way. Maybe you thought you failed a test or an exam, and then lo and behold, while Jupiter's retrograding, you get the news you didn't fail, and you thought it was all over Red Rover, dead as a doornail, and suddenly your confidence regarding the test or exam, which is seen from the third house, is restored back to life. Maybe you'd fallen out with a craftsman that was doing some work for you, maybe designing something or building something for you, and lo and behold, Jupiter retrograding can restore that relationship with an artisan or a craftsperson or some tradesperson back to life, and you heal that connection. Maybe you were learning something, and prior to September, you were learning something, and it was something you really enjoyed, but you was learn at your own pace, and you just lost time, didn't have the time, lost interest, and sort of moved away from that learning, that seminar, that workshop that you had been involved in. Jupiter going retrograde may have restored your involvement in that learning program or that seminar or that workshop, restored it back to life and brought it a new level of energy a new level of beauty that you hadn't had before. Jupiter might have restored that back to life. Maybe it could be as simple as, Pisces, you have a book, a novel sitting by your bed, and believe me, I've got about a stack of books this big beside my bed that I've started reading, and I'll get back to that later, and I'll read something else, and a million books that I'm halfway through. And lo and behold, Jupiter retrograde could see you simply picking up a book and restoring your interest in it and finishing that book. So what a great energy that is when that happens. So Jupiter turning direct here now really has given you the chance to restore something back to life and probably redefined what successful craftsmanship is, what a successful friendship is, what successful learning is. You've redefined what that is. And through that redefinition while Jupiter's retrograde, you understand more now with a bigger picture perspective what a successful learning program looks like. Maybe you've understood now what a successful tradesperson actually operates like, and who is skilled and who is talented. You've learned to define what that is better. And now you're probably living more truthfully with these realms of life. Jupiter is the lucky planet, and when he turns direct, we can actually get lucky. So you can get lucky with a course that you might study. You can get lucky with some sort of learning that you might undertake, or some writing or some speaking. You might be asked to give an oration at some event, and somebody comes up to you and says, that was so fantastic, and I want you to come and speak in this environment, or can I market you or promote you in some way? There's some sort of social promotion that's seen through the third house. You can get lucky with those things, Pisces, now that Jupiter is turning direct in this realm of the chart. You can get lucky with a small business. Third house is self-made men and women. It's small businesses that we generate our own income from. So you could get quite lucky now that Jupiter's turning direct with your small business. You might find your small business expands, grows, flourishes in a way that it hasn't in quite a while. So that can be a gift and a blessing too. So Pisces, if you have wanted to study, speaking of third house things, there's never been a better time for you guys with Jupiter turning direct in the third house. And there's never been a better time to join the Royal Stars Academy in 2024, because currently until the 21st of January, I'm offering $100 off. So come and join either the intermediate level or the introductory level, either one. You can join one or both if you would like. They both have $100 off. So such a bargain, such a great time to come and study astrology with me. You can start your studies straight away. And then throughout 2024, I do a number of workshops with my astrology students where you can meet me. We can talk about astrology questions you might have and try and get to the bottom of things and look at our charts together. It's really fun. I hope I get to meet you in 2024 in person, and I hope that you come and study astrology with me, my Pisces friends. Thank you, Pisces. And now to Aries, who've been waiting patiently. Thank you, my Aries friends. Well, if you're an Aries rising, sun or moon person, Jupiter is turning direct in your second house. And this is where you might have been, if you look back to September, between September and the 31st of December now, when Jupiter will turn direct, Jupiter's been retrograding. What has been restored to life regarding second house things in your life? What has Jupiter brought back to life? And this can be usually something material or something financial. Maybe your bank balance was absolutely, out of control, and your credit card debt was just ridiculous. And, you felt like my stability and security around finances is dead. Things are just wild out there in my financial land. Well, Jupiter turning retrograde here back in September probably gave you the chance to restore some balance. You've got Taurus here. You want harmony, you want balance, you want security and stability with money. And Jupiter turning retrograde here in September up until now has probably given you the opportunity to create more stability and security with your finances, but also with other material things. You might have been redefining what success is materially. Is success having a Lamborghini in the driveway? Is success living in the richest suburb in town in a ridiculously monstrous house? Is that what success is? Jupiter retrograding in this area of the chart really gives you an opportunity to go within and redefine what material success looks like. And you might have walked away saying, you know what, success to me feels like having a vegetable garden that I can grow my own veggies free from chemicals, and an orchard and some chooks. Oh, that feels like success to me. Success to me feels like having enough food on the table. Success to me feels like a sense of value and worth and pride in what I've done and what I've grown. The second house has to do with the environment, and it has a very provincial energy. So that might feel like success to you. It may or may not. Success might still feel like a Ferrari in the driveway. So, this process of Jupiter is simply a refining process where we look at what success is and we redefine what it is. And that redefinition is going to actually go with us for the next 12 years as Jupiter leaves this area. He's not coming back to your second house for another 12 years. And so this redefinition that's evolved over the Jupiter retrograde period here is going to stick with you for the next 12 years and really color what your material life will look like going forward. Jupiter is a future-oriented visionary planet. So what you've established now, the routines, the ideas around money and success in material terms, is going to inform, maybe the career options that you choose, maybe the businesses and side hustles that you start. It's going to have a bearing on everything. So that's what the Jupiter direct motion is now going to be about, moving forward into this next 12-year cycle with the material ethics and morals and principles and beliefs that you've established during the retrograde process. Keep in mind also too, Jupiter rules for Aries people the 9th house, and the 9th house is beliefs. What you believe about yourself and your worthiness, what you believe about money, is never more important than when the 9th house Lord is in the second house. And so we're getting so close to the end of Jupiter's retrograde process. If you haven't redefined your attitude to money to be something more embracing, more prosperous and optimistic minded, then you've missed your 12-year opportunity. Really, I just want to encourage you, Aries people, get on it fast and develop a prosperity consciousness, because what you believe about money is what's going to stick with you for the next 12 years and will determine whether you attract it or you repel it. Do you have a prosperity consciousness or do you have a poverty consciousness? Time is at hand and it's running out now for you to really develop a mental talk, a mental dialogue, a mental belief system that will bring in more prosperity your way. So what you think about money, your attitude towards money, has hopefully been expanded while Jupiter has been moving in retrograde motion through the second house and restored your positive attitude for money back to life, I hope. This is also where you can get lucky in the last few months of Jupiter's Sojourn direct motion through Taurus. He's leaving next May. So you could get lucky financially. You might make more money. This is resources that we have to utilize. So in that sense, it could be that, you start to use your skill sets and it brings in more money. You get lucky with the opportunities that come your way to make more money or to invest your money. Your investments go well. Your sense of self-worth and self-value is an investment in the self that generates more money as well. You could get lucky with certain circumstances and opportunities that affirm you, that make you feel a sense of worthiness. That can be a blessing from Jupiter here too. You may just find that you attract more food, makeup, perfume, clothes, furniture. This is the house of stuff, like the realm of the chart that has to do with the stuff we have. And you might find that you're just getting more and more and more at this time until next May. You've got so much that won't fit in your cupboards, perhaps. That's another way. Jupiter is to take things to an extreme and expand things out, so that can be how it manifests as well. Once Jupiter leaves and moves into Gemini, you might be more inclined to want to sort of do some cleaning out and spring cleaning and get rid of all those collections of blankets and God knows what you've got from the shops. But that can be the energy of Jupiter here. More opportunities, more luck in attracting material things to you now. So my beautiful Aries friends, I just want to mention that if you have wanted to study astrology, this is the best time to enroll in the Royal Stars Academy for 2024, especially as I'm offering the introductory level and the intermediate level with $100 off. And the link's in the description below if you want to find out more. But come and study with me. You can start your studies straight away, do it at your own pace. But I do offer workshops throughout the year where you meet with me and other astrologers who are studying, and you learn from one another, and we all ask questions and learn from each other. It's great. So I look forward to meeting you in 2024 in person when you study with me through the Royal Stars Academy, my friends. But for now, I want to wish everyone a blessed and very celebratory 2024. May it bring you your heart's desires and every happiness. Thank you one and all for being with me here at the Guiding Star Astrology YouTube channel. I look forward to sharing 2024 with you.